A picture of the U.S.S. George Washington from the sky cannot fully describe the size of this ship. In the navigation bridge, the crew studies maps and meticulously prepares every movement. Captain David Lossman is the man in charge of the carrier and those who work on the ship. Lossman says a ship this size has its limitations.
There are limited ports for this carrier to go to. The fact that I am a 1,000-foot ship that draws over 40 feet of water limits some of those parts right off the top.
The U.S.S. GW is able to make stops in Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, and calls Yokosuka, Japan home. That's not going to change because of the buildup on Guam.
We will always be there. Our families will always be there. The various military maneuvers or movements of forces are part of strategic alliances that our governments have had. But again, as far as the George Washington and its support ships, does not affect us at all.
The GW is 250 feet tall. You are reminded of that every time you have to climb the stairs. The dredging of Apple Harbor would allow a ship this size to port on Guam.
It's very rare for a ship to be able to hit a port more than once a year. And maybe sometimes we would skip a year. But again, it's really hard to make those kind of determinations. Those are just general rules of thumb, but it's always nice to have the port there.
As the sailors check out the planes in the hangar, Captain Ross Myers, who oversees everything with wings, says his men are able to train with Guam even without the port.
We do quite a bit of exercises right now in and out of Guam. Carrier Wing 5 is in Guam every year for annual exercises in addition to biannual Strike Fighter Advanced Readiness Program.
These planes blast off the flight deck to participate in Valiant Shield. This training is key to the safety of this part of the world, according to Rear Admiral Dan Cloyd.
It's really about building readiness, capability, capacity in a joint world between the Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force teams across the spectrum of warfare areas, air warfare, surface warfare, subsurface warfare.
Cloyd says this training is also instrumental for the more common humanitarian efforts and rescue missions. For Guam Newswatch, I'm Baldo Besic.